Hey guys, welcome to our first podcast episode, and in this episode we are actually going to talk about our college experience. We're going to go through some bullet points and tell you what to do in college, what not to do in college, and this is definitely some good advice. So our first bullet point that we're going to talk about is FAFSA. Within FAFSA, everyone knows the deal with you have to get signed up for college, you have to go through student aid or FAFSA. You have to get signed up for that. Please make sure that all of your student aid, and if you're choosing to live on a dorm, please make sure that that's taken care of, as well as your food needs, and make sure that your books are being taken care of, because everyone knows that costs an arm and a leg nowadays. Making sure all of the big bills are taken care of.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you have all of that taken care of. You don't want to be stuck in a predicament where you're getting a bill 2 months into school saying that you still owe for your dorms or your food isn't covered, because they will stop your classes. So FAFSA is something that you 100% want to make sure that everything is knocked down. You have everything checked. There's no doubts or anything like that. I will definitely recommend always going back and double checking. Hey, my dorm is covered for the year. My food expenses are covered for the year. My books are covered. If not, I would definitely talk to them and see what you can do to make sure all of that is covered. Another thing that you definitely want to look into when going into college is scholarships. They have scholarships for just about anything, so you just got to look up on the right sites. Definitely try and get you some scholarships so you don't have to come out of pocket for those books, or you don't have to come out of pocket just to eat. If that is not covered, definitely the main thing that you would want to do before and after doing your FAFSA is applying for scholarships.
Scholarships are definitely a must-have. I know some states, depending on where you live, also give out these things called Pell Grants. So if you are eligible for a Pell Grant, please take advantage of that. Another thing that we want to talk about is move-in day. Move-in day, if you are moving onto campus in your dorms, please do not take your whole house with you or your whole room with you. This is coming from a person who did exactly that, and honestly I kind of regret it. I was moving everything in and out of the dorms by myself, and it was just a hot mess. It was my first year in college, and I thought I was supposed to move everything in. I thought I was going to be there the whole year. It was not the case at all. So just please, for the love of God, do not bring your whole room with you if you do not have to. I would say definitely bring like your necessities with you, bedding and your laptop. Do not move all of your stuff into campus if you do not have to. It's such a hustle to move back and forth between getting your stuff, putting it in your dorm room. It's just a really big hassle. You don't need to do it if you don't have to.
Okay, and then the next topic that we want to touch on is signing up for your college classes. So college classes are first come, first serve. So you definitely want to be on the website at 11:59, or you will not get that class. I do know that the seniors have seniority, so they do get their college class picks first, and then it's everyone fends for themselves. So you want to make sure that you get you're on that website. You have all of your classes already selected, and at 11:59, all you're doing is hitting submit, or you will not be getting the classes that you want. In your freshman year, you will be stuck in terrible classes. Another thing is you want to pick your classes based off of what you can do. So if you're not a morning person, you don't want morning classes. You have to base your classes off around what you can and cannot do.
If you are not a morning person, do not get an 8 a.m. class, okay? 8 a.m. classes from high school and college are two totally different things, okay? What I mean when I say that is that an 8 a.m. in a high school, it's mandatory, you have to be there. And 8 a.m. for college is optional. So it's like you're definitely giving yourself a free pass to go or not go. And what sucks about that is that since attendance is so optional in college, and now that you're grown, you basically have the option if you want to go to class or not, which overall is going to hurt your grades, because if you choose not to go to class, you're just going to miss out on a whole bunch of stuff. So it's just not really wise to do that.
Yeah, don't get an 8 a.m. class if you can't do that. Also, 8 a.m. classes are the longest classes. So if you get an 8 a.m. class, you're not going to get out until 10 a.m. So you have to also think strategically about the classes that you choose, because they are, they're not like 30 minutes. Some of them are 30 minutes, some of them are 2 hours, some of them are 4. You really have to look at those classes. And when you sign up for your classes on the website, they actually tell you how long that class is. So you want to make sure that you're selecting that class in the correct time slot, or you're going to screw yourself your freshman year.
Another thing that we want to talk about is what to expect in college. A lot of people go into college, especially graduating seniors, go into college expecting to have nothing but parties and having fun 24/7. While I know that is the case for some people out there, that is not the case for all college students. College is not this one big party that you can just go to. You have to think you're actually paying for your education now. So time is money and money is time. So please, if you're going to enroll in college immediately after you graduate high school, just please be aware that you are now actually paying for college. This shit is not free. So if your tuition is like $10,000, you best be going to class. Do not let that money go to waste.
Yeah. And you can go out and you can do your party and stuff, but please, by God, get your work turned in first, because professors, they do not care. 11:59, if that's the time. Actually, when you go to college, sometimes your work is not even due at 11:59. Sometimes it's due at 6 o'clock. They don't do 11:59 like high school.
Yeah.
If the professor tells you to turn your paperwork in at 2:30, your paperwork needs to be turned in at 2:30. It's definitely different from high school. A lot of professors do the 11:59, but another part of the professors will do random time. So if they say your paper is due 6 p.m. tomorrow, your paper is due 6 p.m. tomorrow. They will not accept it at 6:01. They will literally fail you, and they do not care what kind of excuse you have. They'll tell you should have thought about that.
Another bullet point that we want to talk about is to take advantage of everything that they offer in college, whether that is group clubs, sororities, fraternities. Just get involved with something. College is made not only to have fun with your friends, but it's also made for you to keep up with your academic hold on yourself, because whenever you go to college, you are pretty much a representation of yourself. You don't want to graduate college and all of a sudden you have nothing to show for. So please get involved with groups or sororities or fraternities. It just helps you grow as a person. It's not really good to stay isolated by yourself. Just please get involved with something, whether that's like book clubs or anything that helps around with campus. It doesn't matter what it is, just get involved, and you will find that whenever you get involved with stuff, you grow as a person, because you're letting yourself out of your little bubble. And also you can meet some pretty good people. You just have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone.
Yes, especially for all of my antisocial girlies. I know it's hard to communicate, and I know it's hard to make friends, and I was one of those people who got super uncomfortable around people that I didn't know. Try and step out of the box. Try and socialize. Try to make friends. Join that club. Join that sorority. Make lifelong friends, because honestly, they'll help you throughout your college experience. You'll always want that one person that you can call on, like, hey, come over. I need to study and I can't focus. Be my study buddy. Like, do what you can to expand your knowledge and expand your college experience.
Another bullet point that we want to talk about is keeping up with your grades academic wise. When we say keeping up with your grades, not every grade that you have has to be an A. You don't have to be a straight A student, because quite frankly, being a straight A student actually does put a lot of stress on you. If you are one of those kids that feel like, oh, I have to have straight A's in order to have a great college experience. You don't. Okay, college work is way different than high school work. You're gonna fail sometimes, you're gonna flunk sometimes, but if you don't get an A on every single assignment, please don't beat yourself up about it. When we say keep up with your grades, we mean like A's, B's, and sometimes even C's. Please don't let your grading scale get in the D's and F's, because professors will say something to you about that. I know some professors will say if you don't get your grade up by a certain amount of time, then you will be kicked out of that class. I do know that for a fact, that if you actually don't keep up with your grades in a certain class, the professors will kick you out. because they feel like you're not putting any effort into the classroom.
Yes, and also the goal is to make sure that you're trying your hardest. So if you're actually trying, if you actually studied for that test and you came out with a C, do not beat yourself up. It just means to go back and study just a little bit harder. Do not go back and drown yourself. Do not go back and just be complete down about something that you studied for, especially if you know you've studied. It's just that topic that you don't know. And a lot of things that people don't know is you can actually ask your professor what topics do you need to work on, and they will gladly tell you. You're showing initiative, you're showing that you care about the grade that you got, you're showing that you want to improve it. So if you go to your professor, you can ask them, hey, well, what topics did I fail and what do you think that I need to work on? And they will definitely tell you. The professors are not there just to pass you along, give you an A and say, hey, go to the next year. It's definitely not like that. That's how it is in high school. With them, they if you fail, you fail, and they will gladly have you in their class over and over and over again. So go to them and ask them, what topic can you learn better on? And once they tell you, go home, go to the library, get a book out about that topic, read, inform yourself, and then retake that test. And I guarantee you'll have a better score. But just because you get a low score, that doesn't mean that you did terrible. That doesn't mean that you didn't study hard enough. It just means that sometimes you just got to do just a little more.
Another bullet point that we want to hit is to have fun and make friends. Please do not stay isolated, because if you do, you will not grow. This is coming from a person who is such an introvert. I don't like going up to people. I'm really quiet into myself. If there is a lot of people in the room, I will not go up to a specific person and make myself known. I was always just really, really quiet. I don't like to talk to a whole bunch of people. I never have, but honestly, in order to grow as a person, you have to be willing to kind of get out of your comfort zone. If you stay in your comfort zone for too long, you have just gotten way too comfortable, and that's honestly not a good thing. It just means that you're not willing to accept change. And in order to grow in life, sometimes you have to change. You have to bend the rules, and you have to bend everything else in life, because if you don't, you're not going to grow. So just please don't stay isolated to yourself. Please make friends. You don't want to go through your whole 4 years of college and realize, oh my God, I don't have one real friend. So just please make friends. Please talk to someone. You don't have to go to this big party in order to make yourself known. It can literally just be the person that's sitting right beside of you in class or in front of you. Or it could be something as simple like, hey, I forgot to write notes for yesterday's lecture. Do you care if I, copy some of your notes? Or do you care if I copied some of your notes? So it's just something small like that.
That's definitely something I agree with 100%. Make sure you're going out and making friends. You don't try to fit in with the crowd, if that makes sense. Don't try to be friends with that person who you know is not a genuine friend. Be friends with someone you know that's going to be a lifelong friend, someone you know that you can count on. You don't want to have to fit in with the crowd. Make your own way, pave their own path. If you have that light, I guarantee you people will gravitate towards you. So that's definitely something that you guys want to keep in mind, is that college does have people who are not true friends. It's just like anywhere you would go, work or anything like that. You have to be aware of those people, and you definitely do not want to befriend them.
Another bullet point that we want to hit is to enjoy your college experience. College, yes, it is meant for you to get that degree and get out of there, because most people that I know don't like school anyway, but college is there for you to enjoy. So college is more relaxed and is more laid back than high school. High school is mandatory. You have to be there. College is not. Within that being said, by enjoying your college experience, please attend every single class, knowing that you're showing up for yourself. You're showing up to get that degree. You're showing up to be the best person that you can be. But also, while you're doing that, please don't stress yourself out. Academic wise, you're there to have fun. So honestly, if you want to go to that party, go ahead and go. But just don't do anything crazy. Just go ahead and go. Enjoy your college experience. Please march to the beat of your own drum. Just because someone else is doing it does not mean that you have to at all. You are your own individual person now. So you know right from wrong, and so does everyone else.
Also, just know that if you need a mental health day, take that mental health day, skip class, go to the spa, get whatever you need done, and then make it up the next day. We're definitely not telling you to put your mental at risk. I do know that sometimes some people just need a mental health day. Sometimes people just can't go to class.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just can't go to work. Take that day. Don't make it an everyday thing, though. Just make it a once a month thing. Treat yourself, but you want to make sure that you're always prepared. So if you know that you're going to miss class the next day, go ahead and see if you can get some preparations for what will be talked about that day.
Yeah.
I do know that some professors will put their class online, so that's something that I would just tap into, especially if if I need a mental health day. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be near people. You can just record that class, have your computer on, record it, and go on about your day and come back and revisit it and retake the notes based off of what the professor was saying. That's a really neat thing that you can do that they do offer, is online classes where they will put up what they spoke about. So sometimes they will have recorders in the back of the classroom recording that whole entire session for people who aren't there. So that's definitely one thing that you will want to take advantage of.
All right, guys, this pretty much wraps up our college experience. We hope you can take notes and learn from the best. But just know that we love you guys and appreciate you guys. And until next time, Isis and I out.